What's up, guys? Hopefully you're having a fantastic week. Welcome to the dojo. You ready to dive into this? I'm ready to dive into it. Just like a bloop. Dive into the deep end. All right, here we go. So what's today about? Today's going to be about how I feel about gaming, collecting retro games. Short story, I love it. Long story, you know what it's going to be. So with my retro games, it's not really something that, like, as a streamer, I tend not to stream my retro games, mainly because I like handheld a lot, but it's something I like to do in my free time that is more me. Of course, as you know, right now my free time has been basically Fortnite, because I've given my life to Fortnite at this point. I'm gonna get that Rick skin. It's happening. But truthfully, yeah, I like the collection staying outside of stream because it's something I like to just enjoy and dive into and love the art. And like the art is just wonderful. Like even on the Sega games, I love the art on the 2600, beautiful art. And then even like the styling of the consoles, like, what is this? Why is this tiny SP screen that can play whole cartridges in here? Why is this Sega Nomad a thing? I don't have the battery pack hookup, but I love my Sega Nomad. Probably one of the first retro things I ever purchased was this. I love this thing so much. I bought that years ago. Years. Absolutely love it. I probably don't play it as much as I should anymore, but you know how the retro collections get. After a while, you're like, yo, I don't even have time to play all these games that I own. But yeah, that's why it stays out of there. And like I was saying, mainly I do a lot of handheld stuff because I just like the handheld stuff. This is my OG SP. I love this thing. I want to mod my other one. That's another thing I want to get into, being in the retro field, is like modding things out. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to kind of tinker with. I would like to do that. Another fun handheld I picked up recently was my Micro. This is my latest handheld pickup, and I love the Micro. It is definitely the coolest looking of the bunch. I think it just looks like future tech. That, like, if you pop this bad boy on your planet, people are like, yo, what's that new piece of tech? Probably not. But yeah, so the games are fun. It's a lot of fun to dive into. There's a lot of nostalgia, like I was saying with the Sega, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I love this game. This game was awesome. I know Limited Run just did a reboot of this in some way or form, but this is just good stuff right here. Looking back at the games I love, this and Wonder Boy were my titles on the Sega. Love them. Love them to death. Another cool thing about what happens in the retro world is, like, right now I'm on an Atari 2600 run. I've really dove into it because I started learning about it. I've never owned an Atari, and I'm enjoying this adventure and just learning about the backstory of some of the games and how some developers didn't really last that long. They only had like 2 games, shipping games because they ran out of covers with handwritten stuff on it so you knew what game you were getting. Crazy information like that. There's a lot of history in a lot of these games. And then, excuse me, like with a lot of these retro titles, they have amazing art too. And Atari 2600 is probably some of my favorites so far. Like this looks like it's an artist done, Jay Kelly. I'm not sure who that is, but it has like a Norman Rockwell kind of feeling to it. And I really love it. I really love it. And this was a game that I picked up at random. I only picked it up because of the cover art, and so happens to be probably one of my favorite games on the Atari right now. I love mazes. I love doing mazes, and that's all this game is about. And it is an absolute blast to play. I played it for like an hour before doing this. I couldn't stop. I really love it. I'm not gonna lie. And then another cool thing, we're going to stay in the vein of the Atari 2600 because this was a game recommended to me by the local shop that I go to, which is it's awesome to go to the local shops because you can then ask people like, hey, what do you recommend? And sometimes don't listen to them, but sometimes they got good recommendations. And this place never fails me. This one, Berserker. Oh my God, is this good? I love this game. I love this game as much as Maze Craze because this one is just simple. It's just like shoot the enemies, kill them, run and gun. Essentially, it's nothing spectacular by any means, but it is a fantastic game to play. You don't want to put it down. I haven't been wanting to put it down either. Between this and Maze Craze, I don't know what's gonna burn my Atari 2600 out. It's gonna probably be one of the two of them because I can't stop. And again, art is beautiful on this as well. And I hate to love these cardboard boxes because I hate that they break apart and they look like crap, but that's what gives them their that patina, that breakdown. It just looks used and it looks like it's had fun over time, and I really love that it gets like that. I really do. I can't say I don't, but again, I hate it because it's not pristine. Another cool thing you run into in the retro world is like how I was saying about history, but running into things like I didn't know that there was a variant copy of Metroid with this really cool art on it. Like, this is amazing. Like, this Samus, she's probably one of my, I love her character design so much. I think she is one of the coolest. I just love her design. I love the way they like broke this character out too. I didn't have that like feeling of like, oh my God, I didn't know it was a girl. Like, I was born a little bit ahead of this, and it's just awesome though. I really love this title. I just love this art so much. I like it way better than the original. But it's cool that you find things like this that you didn't know about because you're visiting the shop maybe weekly, maybe monthly, and you're gonna see new things cycled in. You're like, oh, what's that cool thing? And then you ask about it, and then you find out and you learn, and it's like, what? This is awesome. Another cool thing that I really like about retro games, and this can be like hit or miss with people, but using IPs and like, is that what the game's supposed to be? Like, that's not what the movie was like, but I guess we're close enough. This is one of my favorite iterations of it, but they also do very bad renditions of it. But Friday the 13th, super tough game, like impossibly tough. But what a great title. I love this. I love that Jason is like this neon purple color. He's beautifully neon, and it kind of plays true to what the movies are about, kind of, but not really. It's just, they just put this IP. They just literally like, hey, we got an idea where this guy's we want him to attack these people, and hopefully they can make it out alive. And if they can't, they can't. But it does feel kind of in vain. It's probably the closest in vain to the IP. Most of the time, they're way off. But then there's probably other titles that do better than that either way. But I really like that game a lot. But yeah, all in all, this is what I feel about retro gaming. Like, I love what it does. It does some things really good, and it does other things that are not so good. Is another thing that I must say is, like, if you're getting into retro, is I don't know if I would think about value, but again, it depends on how you define value. If you're defining value as games that you get and you can consume and enjoy for maybe years to come, if that's the kind of value you're looking for, retro is gonna be probably the better place because you're gonna get more bang for your buck. Like the two Atari 2600 games that I showed you were at the time were around like $10 a pop, but that's not a lot. Like, truthfully, it's definitely a cheaper alternative to get into. Like, I really like that you can get more value that way, in my opinion, because you're spending less, so more. But again, it depends upon how you value what you value as value. Sounds like kind of a weird saying to say, but that's what it is. But if you're like looking at value as money over time, as you invest into retro, it's hard to say that's a good idea, because yes and no. It could be worth money later. You don't really know what it's going to be worth. Nobody does. I don't know. Games do go up in value, but you don't know how much they're going to go up in value at the end of the day. It's to gamble, like anything in life. I say gamble on what you know, what you like, and have fun. But all in all, retro is about going out to local shops, searching eBay, doing research, learning, finding out what you love about retro titles. Like for me, it's always going to be art first. I always look at video games as art. Art is the most important thing to me. From the way the consoles look, to the way the cartridges are made, to the art on the covers, to everything. It's all art for me. Even the design, like I love the way these Sega boxes feel. Absolutely love them. They're probably up there with one of my favorite boxes, outside of like, I really love the PSP boxes, and I really like the Switch boxes a lot. But Sega's probably number one. It's probably like the top one. But let me wrap this up. So now you know how I feel about this whole thing. What I feel about retro gaming, and how it applies to me. And hopefully you got some knowledge out of this. Maybe it's helping you in your retro gaming ideas that you want to go into this whole retro thing, which is, I think, a good thing to do. Truthfully, I think now is always a great time. Anytime it's now, do it. If you want to do it, go do that thing. But if you don't really care about it, then don't get into it. Don't waste your money. Do what you love. Do things that you enjoy doing. You're not going to be here forever. So enjoy what you do. Go do that stuff. Thank you for listening to me ramble about why I like retro gaming. And if you have any comments or anything, go ahead, throw them down below. I'll throw a link down there to my stream if you want to watch me on Twitch. I usually stream Tuesdays, Thursdays at 3 p.m. And then on Sunday, I usually start at 11 p.m. all Eastern time. But yeah, stop by, say hello live. We probably won't be playing retro games, but you never know. It could always change. Life is always moving in some sort of direction. Oh yeah, also do the like, the subscribe, all those other things that everybody else tells you to do too. Might as well jump on that bandwagon, right? That's what you're supposed to say. But yeah, I'm going to start rambling here at the end, so feel free to step out whenever you please. And thank you again for everything. You guys are the best. And until next time, take it easy. Don't do anything too crazy. Okay, don't do anything at all. Just wait for me to post another video. And then when I post the next video, then you can go do something. Sounds like a plan, right? Yeah, it sounds like a terrible plan. Till next time, take it easy. Thank you very much for everything. You guys are the best. Toodaloo.